Oh, what's the matter?
We're gonna do a YouTube video on getting it running again. So
okay.
I
All right.
get that reaction, but welcome back out to the shop. My name is Mark. This is the Malarkey Taylor channel. Today we're introducing a new project. This you've probably seen on the channel a couple of times before if you've been here a long time. If you are one of my family members, which is primarily my audience, then you obviously know what this guy is right here. This is my dad's 1995 Jeep YJ. It's the Wrangler Rio Grande. And it's been having an issue for a while now where it has what I believed to be piston slap, and that sounds a lot like a knocking noise or a rod bearing. He brought it over because it seemed like it was getting worse, and when I say it's had it for a while, I mean probably 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 miles. This thing has been making quite a racket. And well, he brought it over thinking maybe we could take a look at it, make sure it wasn't a valve problem. I did. I took the valve cover off, checked the valves, there's the push rods and all that, all the springs, everything looked good. Started it up, put a new valve cover gasket on it, started up, take it around the block, and that's when it had catastrophic failure. Yeah, she's dead. Go a little too low. So it seized up, it would not run anymore. But I think now that it's cooled down, you might be able to see a little bit of the carnage. Oh, we got, that's not good. So, that is the end of the YJ. Ooh, we got quite a bit of smoke. Hopefully no fire. But I had to get it towed home because it seized up completely. But it did cool off now, and I think we can get it open here and take a look. Yeah, nothing really to see. It didn't spit any rods out, and when it seized up, it just kind of seized up. It wouldn't run anymore, it wouldn't turn. But that's what we're starting to work on next. So come along with me. We're going to try to find a motor for it. We're going to try to find a couple things to make it work again. Hopefully we get it done in a couple weeks here and back on its way. And we'll see what happens. You're doing fine. Come on back. Straight back. Follow it around.
Follow around?
Yep. That's good right there. Here we got some parts. Big thanks to the guy on Facebook Marketplace. Hopefully he was honest and everything is good to go here. So we'll get it up on a stand and find out. Right, Pop?
Right. Oh, what's the matter?
We're gonna do a YouTube video on getting it running again. So
okay.
I
All right.
get that reaction, but
that sounds good.
so we got it out. We got it off the trailer. It's got a starter in it. I pulled the plugs out. Plugs look good. They look like they've been replaced, but they're in good shape. No real signs of running badly. I don't know if that means that they were chasing a problem and replaced the plugs to try to solve it, or we don't know. But I'm going to try to run a compression test on it and see if we can get it to give us compression numbers, because if the compression's good, we're good. If it's not great, but it's okay, then we're still good. But if it makes clunking noises, then we'll start over. It'll make its way to the right spot eventually. Alright, let's see if we can get this guy onto something ground. And grab this right here and just put a hand on it so that it doesn't support. Spins over. I don't hear anything major wrong. Like it seems like that's okay. So let's grab the gauge and the pipe there and see what we can get.
Mine would have been clunking.
Yours would have been like irk, 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 irk. Ready? Whoa! That has very good compression.
Yeah.
160. That's probably because the ports are open. The exhaust and
Okay.
it probably is getting a lot of really good airflow.
You could tell when it hit that cylinder.
Yeah.
Oh, oh.
So we've got one good one. All right, let's see what we got. You ready?
Yeah. Want me to hold it or you got it?
I got it. Not as good. Got about a 130.
That's still good.
Still good. Better than yours ever was.
Yeah.
So here we go. Ready? You got to just stop it from. $160.
Yeah. Hey, we're 3/4 of the way there, Mark.
It'll run. At this point, it'll run. If this cylinder has 70, it'll still run. It won't run great, but it'll run. The other thing that's nice is it hasn't made any weird clunking or knocking noises when it hits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I know what you mean by that.
Ready?
Yeah.
$150.
Yeah, that's good.
That'll run. That's a good health. That's a pretty good healthy motor. Let's go back to that one that was low and try it again just to double check our numbers. It went up maybe 5 pounds. Oh, maybe if that. So valve seat could be a little bit weak, but I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, I would. It's fine.
I'm not worried about it. I wouldn't even. I don't know that I would even mess with checking the valve.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Let's just put it in and try it. So
Well, that makes me happy, Pop.
yeah.
So that makes me happy.
So what do we have to do to this to get it ready? Probably.
We have to strip the transmission off of it.
Or do you gotta just take mine out first?
No.
No.
Strip the transmission off of it. Pull yours out. And then we'll decide whether we're going to put the we could probably put the manifolds on it outside. Put it back in. Because we need to put your intake manifold on it, an exhaust manifold.
Okay.
So we need to get some new gaskets for those. Why is that?
If you need me to pick anything up, let me know.
Well, I am pretty pleased about that. I found this motor on Facebook Marketplace. The guy had it listed for $550. The only problem was he was probably about 7 hours away. He was up near Buffalo, New York. I'm closer to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So I thought, well, that's a long way away, but I have family in the area. And I told my dad, I said, hey, Pop, you want to go try to find this engine? He did. He picked it up. Sight unseen. Didn't get to run the compression test before I got it, but the guy was really nice and he was honest. So he said the engine had about 120,000 miles on it, and I believe him because the compression numbers came back really pretty good. We have one cylinder that is at 145. The rest of them are 160, 150, and 160. So we are in really good shape. Obviously won't know till we get it back in the Jeep and get it running, but that's going to be coming up here soon. Okay, so the first order of business for this engine is going to be pull the transmission off. Transmission, starter, a bunch of other odds and ends. Going to pull all that stuff off. The fan. I got to get this thing stripped down a little bit, and then I'm going to try to get it onto that stand. Obviously, I've got to get that off of that stand and onto that cart, and I got to get that on. We're getting there. I've got to make some changes in here and clean stuff up, but got to get that engine onto that stand so that I can prep it to go in the Jeep. I got the transmission off. I got it sitting on the ground. I got my crane free so that I can start to clean that. But that's it for tonight. Welcome back. I decided not to. So instead I called a friend. I said, hey, can I borrow an engine stand? And I borrowed an engine stand. So now I've got the motor. I'm just going to put it on that engine stand. But I think because these 2 liters, 2.5 liters, they have a one-piece rear main seal, and it looks like this rear main seal is bad. I'm gonna pull the flywheel off and pull the rear main seal off because it's a one piece. You can't do it while it's on the stand. Well, not easily. And that's the first thing that I want to do and change the seals. So I'm gonna pull the flywheel off, change the main seal, and then put it up on the stand and start doing the other seals. Speaking of seals, we should probably open this box up and make sure that the seals and everything I ordered are right. That's a clutch alignment tool. That's the right one already. Let's see what we got here. Oil filter, thermostat, rear main seal. I sure hope that's the right one. 2.5 liter valve cover gasket. And here we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, that's right. Intake exhaust. And then this one should be oil pan gasket. Oil pan gasket, AMC 2.5 liter. That checks out. So, first things first, we gotta get this main seal. Let's take the flywheel off, see what we got. So that looks like about the right thing. Let's see if we can compare it up there without opening it. It looks right, and it definitely looks like we had some leakage. So we'll look at the gap. Alright, we're gonna get that guy swapped out and then get it on the engine stand. Alright, hopefully this guy comes right out of there pretty easily. We'll see. Thinking one of these guys just kind of poked in there. So some of these kits, some of these engines or seals like this need to have an application tool. So when you put this on here, this lip right here has to go over that edge, and it's smaller, so it all has to be expanded out. And if you don't have the tool, which is basically a big long thing that you push it on this way and you push it over that way, you can tear this edge when you put it in there, and you can damage it, and that can cause premature seal failure. So I need to look up this engine and see what the installation procedure is for it, because if I have to buy one of those tools or rent it or borrow it or something, I will do that rather than trying to damage that. As I'm looking at it, I might need a seal installation tool. So I'm gonna go find that out. We'll be back in a minute. We're back. Shouldn't need any special installation tools, just lube it up really good and be gentle putting it on. So we're gonna dip our fingers in some of this oil. I'm gonna put oil all over this surface here. Get this all lubricated up really good. All over here. So that we have good clean lubricated surfaces. Do the same thing with this oil, with the seal. Get it good and lubricate it up. Get oil all over it. Right on here like that. Should be able to just kind of coax it in there. Oh, don't do that. Go in there, Jen. Go in smooth. Don't crease. Well, there you go. I got it on the stand. I got the main seal changed. I've got a bunch of stuff pulled off of it now, just kind of looking it over. I think this water pump has been replaced. I know I've got it out. I really should just change it, but it's really not that hard to change in the Jeep, and that looks like it's a fresh, good unit. So I don't think I'm going to change it. I think I'm going to put it together and hope that it's good. I am going to change the thermostat, maybe the thermostat housing. We'll see how well that cleans up, but got it on the stand. We got a good look at it. The next step is to get the old one out of the old Jeep. So I'm going to bring that in here and start pulling that engine apart, but that's it for today. That's it for this video. Stick around for part 2. Hopefully this will be a 2 or 3 part series where it's just a couple of videos where we get the whole thing done, back to my dad, and on its way. But we've got the new engine. It looks like it's in good shape. So the next part is to get the old one out. We'll break that down, see what happened to it, and go from there. Thank you so much for stopping out. Thanks for checking out what I'm doing here. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button if you're new here. And as always, have a good one. We'll see you next time.